Stray is the game that we've all been waiting for. The game where you can nuzzle up to robots, knock stuff off of ledges, and even tear up some robo-citizens' carpets, and they won't even get mad. Stray came out on July 19th for PS4, 5, and PC, but it was free for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium members. So with uploading this on the following day, you can assume it's a pretty quick platinum, and it is, but this is about the actual journey itself and how the time spent getting the platinum actually felt. So getting right into it, Stray was a decent platinum, again pretty quick, taking under 10 hours, but it did feel pretty good while running through it. There are a fair bit of collectibles, but the size of the level design and the pretty linear world keep things pretty tame to get. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even need a guide if you like exploring the world. PowerPix does have a solid guide listing everything in order though, if you do choose to go that route. And it's concise and unique enough to be straight to the point. One of my biggest annoyances personally with games and collectible trophies is when you have to go back and forth between the guide and the game non-stop, back and forth, back and forth. It just really breaks the immersion for me and makes it hard to keep wanting to go after the collectibles. But fortunately, this game isn't like that at all. There's only like 60 some odd collectibles through the various types you have to get, and they're paced out pretty nicely. There are several chapter-specific trophies, which can be done in Chapter Select, but you're better off getting them on your first collectible playthrough. Only one really stuck out and actually took me like a solid half hour. It was really awful. You have to do this chase sequence and not get touched by these enemies that jump at you. It sounds pretty easy, but I swear to God, the RNG here is so real and stacked against you. Hugely frustrating, but not really that bad once you're done with it. Like, seriously, look at this footage. It was so awful. I felt like I was raging at an old school Call of Duty when I was a kid. I was dropping F-bombs left and right. I was having such a bad time. I didn't know if I was bad, if it was RNG or what, but it was only for like 30 minutes and then it was fine. The others are pretty simple things like getting through sections without being detected or clearing a zone without using a piece of equipment. Things of that nature. Speaking of your first playthrough, this game does have a trophy I normally despise seeing. A speedrun trophy. However, being such a short game, it's completely doable and not bad at all. I don't like being forced to do a second playthrough, especially without any kind of in-game reward, and I feel like that's just the devs squeezing out more playtime into their title. But it was okay here. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I enjoyed my speedrun because it didn't add anything to the experience for me, but it's not bad when it's the only trophy, so I'm good. The requirement is to beat it in under 2 hours, and most people are clocking in around an hour and a half. That's roughly where I landed as well, though it is doable to get all collectibles and the speedrun done in one playthrough and then do cleanup through Chapter Select, but you need a damn near perfect run, and that just sounds stressful, so I'm good, thanks, especially with the jumping mechanics. Outside of that, the rest of the trophies are pretty straightforward. I did really enjoy the time I spent playing this. Mostly, it felt like a lot of little things that were awesome just smashed together. Like when a game has a lot of little touches of detail that we like or something, but there's a ton of that. The robots' facial expressions in general are great, but when you meow around them, they become surprised like an emoji. Like, whoa, what the hell was that sound from that really small creature? They also blush or make a heart face when you nuzzle up to them. It's super adorable stuff. They even incorporate typical cat behavior like walking on keyboards or clawing at curtains, and this kind of stuff actually progresses you through parts of the game or even helps complete puzzles. The game itself is a pretty typical platformer, but then they add in all these things that we've experienced from being around cats or even watching millions of hours of cat videos online, and that obviously speaks to like everybody. I do want to say, the biggest thing that got me was their world building. The story is pretty quietly told with a smaller amount of dialogue as well, but still left me with so many questions about the outside world. Like, how did humanity get to this level, especially when all we know about the outside in this game is that it's lush and it's thriving? That doesn't usually stack up in the whole post-apocalyptic humans gone kind of thing. Or, like, why did the robots mimic humans even after they left? None of that is entirely relevant to the story, but it built this mystery in my head that I really enjoyed thinking about. Honestly, and this is probably gonna sound weird, but this game really gave me the vibes of like a mixture of Horizon and Soma. Obviously not quite as dark as the second one, but a lot of it really makes sense. The first one I think is pretty obvious, and I won't really go into why some of it is relevant to avoid spoilers for both Soma and this, but that's a good thing. Both titles that really make you think about what the hell is going on. That's pretty tricky to pull off in general, and even more so in a game with such little dialogue or not a ton of lore and characters to tell you this stuff. I definitely do want to see more of this story, more of this world, and more of what the devs have to offer, but that being said, as a whole, I don't really feel like this game is worth the $30 in USD that it costs if you don't have the extra tiers of PS Plus to get it for free. The content is super awesome, and it's a breeze to get the platinum, but there just isn't that much content there. On the flip side, however, if you want to support the dev team for giving us such an awesome and unique experience, then it absolutely is worth the money. I just don't know that I would have picked it up if it wasn't free in the first place. Overall, Stray is a pretty relaxed platinum to go for, even with its speedrunning trophy. Nothing that's gonna really give you a headache, save for Can't Catch Me, dear god that was atrocious, but the world made it fun, the interactions were entertaining, and the bit of the story that there is definitely kept me intrigued for what was gonna happen next. All in, you're gonna have it done pretty quick, and you're gonna have a good time doing it, and that's what I personally look for in my trophy hunting. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other trophy hunting and gaming videos I'm going to be posting. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.